You ever feel stuck? You feel like you're in a pit of despair where no matter how hard you try, no matter how hard you work, you just can't find the success or the relief that you need to get back on track. It feels like life has got its foot on your chest and holding you down from being who you're called to be. Well, the key to this is understanding that every man in leadership in some form or fashion will go through seasons of despair, but we don't have to go to the pit. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you what does it mean to be in a pit of despair? What does it look like to be in this place? We don't have to be in the pit of despair. We can stop at the valley because valleys do come. And also, I'm going to give you 7 steps on how to get out of it too. So let's get into it, guys. If you're watching this for on here, I'd love to comment live with you all. Looks like who got here live. What's up? Jim Bird's in the house says, let's get it on. Let's go, Jim Bird in the house. Love to hear you guys. If you're watching this at any point in time, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Like, comment, do all the YouTubey things that help us to continue to grow. In this message, and these messages will reach more people that you love and care about. So I know I have a message for men, but of course, ladies, it helps you, and it helps you working with the men in your life, whether that be a husband, a father, a son, a cousin, brother, neighbor, co-worker, whatever it may be. I love for you guys to share this along the way. So, um, I watched this special a while ago. It was about people who were attempting to commit suicide on the Golden Gate Bridge. It's a common area where throughout the year several folks will go out and they jump off the Golden Gate Bridge, and most are successful. Some people fail at that attempt, and in that failed attempt, they have testimonies. And I remember watching, listening to this guy and several people, and like every single one of the individuals, yeah, Victoria says representing the women here. Yeah, yeah. Good to see you, Victoria. Um, and every single individual who survived and was able to tell the story afterwards, they said when they let go, immediately they went into regret. Immediately they went into regret. It's almost like Satan was saying, "Ha, got you, got you." And every single one of them said the same thing. But there's one guy who survived. He had this crazy, miraculous story, and he talks about the same thing. Felt the regret, felt everything going on from there, and he felt an angel was the one who actually helped him because he couldn't feel his legs. He hurt his back, all these things, and now his calling is to help folks who are approaching that depression and anxiety to a level where they do feel suicidal and whatnot. So, um, but it's that instant regret because there is light at the end of the tunnel. We have to be able to press to get out of the tunnel, or as I'm talking about here, in the pit of despair. So, I'm gonna explain what my definition of the pit of despair is in just a little bit here too. But I work with many men over the years, and from I've got some marital issues to some health scares to my kids have done some stupid things, and where did I go wrong? What did I do wrong to put my kids in this situation for us to be here? Those scenarios and stories are one thing, and then it's also I get the stories of I'm working, but I'm not being fulfilled. I'm not. What I'm doing is paying for things. It's paying the bills. It's covering those kind of things. But I'm not being fulfilled. I don't feel like I'm doing purposeful, meaningful work. And I always say, if you look in the Bible, that before God gave Adam a wife and Eve, He gave him purposeful work. A man must have purposeful work, meaningful work, work that is fulfilling, work that is in alignment with who God created him to be. He gave him purposeful work before He gave him a wife. Uh, I know women, you have to feel this, and it's nothing about against the wives or anything of that sort, but a man has to have purposeful work. It's actually more indicative. Paul talked about, I'd rather you be single like me so you can dedicate your life to the ministry. But he says, but of course, I know that some men need to have a wife. So there's a reason of singlehood that is allows you to be focused in on what God is calling you to do in your life. And so part of those things is recognizing, okay, um, I need to have purposeful work. I need to have meaningful work. So I have guys from, yes, I need to do better at work. I need to take care of my health. I need to get better. And I'm letting my body go, to the other end of the spectrum of having conversations with men who say, who let me know that I've been chewing on the barrel of my gun for the last 48 hours. It doesn't get much more pit related than that. And this is hard work, but it's hard work. It's the stuff that I enjoy, being in the trenches or in the pit with guys, but also helping them to not to go all the way to the mountaintop, to realize their full potential in life and everything that God has called them to do, to minimize regrets, to live a life that is fulfilling and it's impactful for the kingdom of God, and it influence others towards the kingdom of God because of the life they live. That's the work I enjoy doing. That's what I love to do in many situations too. So um, here's some key stats. I want to give you some key stats here. 75% of men report work-life stress. That's from an APA poll. 75%. So 3 out of 4 men that you see walking around are stressed out because of work situations, work in life, whatever, work-life stress. So majority of men are walking around with stresses that are affecting many areas, if not all areas of their life. Okay. 40% of men feel isolated, lacking close friendships. That's a Harvard study on men's health. So most feel isolated, and unfortunately, most of that isolation happens from them because women, you lean into the relationships of friends and counsel and whatnot. Men who are already feeling isolated isolate more, isolate themselves even more so. So not having close friendships, life changes and things of that sort. I've always had a core group, and I think I take it for granted because I don't recognize that a lot of guys don't have that. A core group of close friends, best friends, guys that I can be accountable to. They can be accountable to me. Part of that connectivity that needs to happen, that iron sharpening iron that needs to happen. I've had that because I know I value it. I mean, there's a reason why even in my fitness studio is that it's team personal training. There's beauty of doing hard stuff together, going through hard things together. There's a synergy that happens with that, doing life with others. I mean, God, and look in Genesis, God created, and he said that's good. And he created, and the next day, this is good. This is good. All the things are good. The first thing that God said is not good, he said it's not good for man to be alone. Now, he's not just talking about marriage. He's talking about community. He's talking about us doing things together, family, friends, community. That's why there's strength in numbers. There's teamsmanship. There's camaraderie that helps. So it's not good for man to be alone. So I always give the reference to if you're in prison and you get in trouble, the worst uh, penalty they give you or discipline they give you is solitary confinement. It's going to isolation. And something hit me the other day. As you, I'm pretty clear on talking about the school system. It's pretty much the modern school system is set up to uh, prepare you for two avenues: the factory or prison. Let's think about this. If solitary confinement in prison is the biggest issue, what happened when you got in trouble at school? Now, my school, we got hit with paddles, and the teachers could put their hands on me. That was one discipline. But what also you get? Suspension, detention. Pull your desk outside. Go in the hall. Go over. Get away from everyone. Some of that is, yes, they don't want that kid to be a distraction to other kids, but a lot of it is like we're training to be isolated as punishment. But so it was like we're getting like trained to do exactly what's going to be detrimental to us mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially. All those things are going to be hit if we go into isolation. But that is the key where we go. But here's a remedy here. Faith-based communities improve emotional well-being by up to 30%. That is from Pew Research Center. Faith-based communities improve emotional well-being by up to 30%. 30% is pretty significant. Okay, a faith-based community, meaning a church, a study group. Like for us, a faith-based group is what we do at our studio. It's coming together. It's being, in a coaching community. It's being in doing recreational sports. It's in, kind of things. And it doesn't have to be because it's a Christian, but I mean, it's something faith and empowering to make you better. These environments will improve you, but many times we isolate ourselves even more so from those particular environments. So let me give you a definition of what I look at the pit of despair. It's the mental, emotional, relational, physical, and spiritual low where everything feels heavy, success is distant, and hope is lost. Does that ring a bell? Do you ever feel that way? Does that ever come up to you that you feel that mentally, emotionally, relationally, physically, and spiritually? Why I put physically? Most of the times people just look at mental, spiritual, and emotional, but being stressed out affects your body. There's a book called The Body Keeps the Score that talks about that. I've been through, myself where traumatic events actually affected my physical body, the pain in my body, lack of sleep, stress, catastrophizing everything. I've been there before. I've also been there where I had dark thoughts as well. So I can relate to these guys because I am that guy. I've been there, but I didn't focus on carrying it out. Real talk. It's the focus of where we go with that. But it's this part where the pit of despair, there's anxiety, there's depression, there's chaos, there's confusion, there's doubt, there's worry, there's lack, the spirit of lack, which is from the enemy. There is always a belief that not enoughness is there. Okay. And hopelessness. I'll never make it out. This is where I'm at. This is my destiny to be in this pit of despair. And the enemy comes in, of course, with shame, guilt, condemnation, all the things that want to keep you suppressed and in there. But I believe in what God's word says. He said, I'll make a way of escape. And so sometimes you have to climb out yourself. But it's good to have some people along doing life with you that will get into that pit and you work together to climb out together. So we can get into the valleys. The Bible's very clear as far as peak and mountaintops. Although I walk through the valley of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me. You're riding your staff, comfort me. So I'm in these areas of the valley. The valley is necessary. I got to go into the valley to get to the next mountaintop. That's necessary. The pit is not. And we can determine how long we're actually in the pit. That's going to be totally up to us. I already quoted it, but Psalm 23:4. Even though I walk through the valley of the darkest valley, I will feel no evil, for you are with me. You're riding your staff; they comfort me. Okay, I kind of skipped ahead. That was in there too. So, why is it that men fall into this pit of despair? What is it that causes it to happen? So, I'm giving three of the big things. There's a lot of different factors that can come in there, but these are the biggest three things that I found. Number one is hustle culture. I talked about this on another video before about hustle and grind. That whole, I got to hustle and grind. I used to be that guy, and it brought anxiety. It brought depression. It brought a lot of like stress in my life. So I got to grind it out, hustle and grind. Like I don't even let my clients use the word like grinding, because grinding down to a pulp. If I'm grinding, there's less of me because there's pieces of me that are being like grinded off. So I don't want to grind nothing anymore. Okay. I want more flow, more freedom. Okay. So more fulfillment in those particular things. So I don't even use that hustle. So a hustle culture, I hustle when I die. I sleep when I die. Sleep is the cousin of death. These are the words that I used to use. Okay. And I hear it so much that we got to hustle and make it happen. Okay. Hustle comes at an expense. So hustle culture is one of the things. And of course that brings burnout, that brings contentment. It brings a lot of different things in there. So that's number one. Number two, I've already talked about, is isolation. We've been told so much that it's lonely at the top. It does not have to be lonely at the top. My whole mission is to create community at the top for CEOs and business leaders and those who are doing certain things that we feel like we have to be isolated. You do not. Now, you may need to find other individuals or peers who are like-minded, who are on the same mission of business and ministry and whatnot, but we're not supposed to be isolated, okay? When you're by yourself, it deepens the despair because you're with your thoughts. And a lot of times those thoughts can get dark. They can bring you down in certain different ways. So we got to be careful that we don't use isolation, because that's one of the things enemy loves. Because we hear it, we say it all the time. It's lonely at the top. No, it don't have to be lonely at the top. Don't just just regurgitate some stuff that you heard. You do not have to be lonely at the top. It is not necessary. Okay. And then there's fear of success and fear of failure. Why do I say most of the time you hear fear of failure? I think and I believe I subscribe to fear of success is more detrimental to fear of failure. Why so? If you fail at a business venture, you fail at starting something new, a new hobby, a new task, or a new mission, and you fail at it, most people be like, you tried, it's okay. You gave it your best shot. It's okay, baby. Just come on back in and do whatever. Most people are okay with you failing. They're okay with it. Now, the people who look up to you like failing is not an option for me leading my family. I've got to make it work for their sake. So there's an inspiration in there. But fear of success brings different stressors. If you make 5 times more income than you make right now, you've changed. In order for that to happen, you've changed. You become a different person. And guess what? The people that already know you, your family and friends that know you at this point in venture of your life, they're comfortable with who you've been. They're not going to be comfortable with the other person. Oh, you think you're high and mighty now. You think you're better than us. Oh, you lost that much weight. Now you think you're fine. You think you're sexy. Oh, you're gonna flex your muscles all the time now, right? You gotta fight against that success barrier that sometimes, because most of the times when you're doing that, when you're doing something amazing, your light is shining so bright and it's illuminating the darkness on them. It's illuminating their flaws. It's illuminating the things that they're not doing that they wish they would have done or wish they could do, but they chose not to, and you did. So I truly believe that fear of success is even harder than fear of failure. Okay, so we got to brace it, like knowing that everybody's not going to like the next level of you. Everybody's not going to like you striving for your full potential. But guess what? It's your duty. It's your duty to go for it. Okay, but that's just part of it. So once again, like, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. If you following this, we're getting close to that 300 subscribers. I think we're at like 8 away from that. So we want to keep rocking. This thing's going to keep moving and blowing up too. So yes, so those are the main factors. But of course, God has not given us the spirit of fear. He gives us sound mind, boldness, courageous. Those are the things that he's given us. Okay, so here are a few things that help you shift, and I'm gonna give them to the 7 points in the second here. Shift your mindset and emotional resilience. That means being more gritty. Most of the times, it's the stories that we're telling that keeps us where we are. The story you tell is the truth you know. It's the life you live. So I need to get more emotionally resilient. I need to get emotionally resilient. I need to get mentally tough. There's some things that I need to build up and also realizing that these are seasons of life. The pit is it's temporary. It's not going to last forever. Nothing does. So if you're in a pit situation or in a valley of despair situation, on the other side, there's going to be a peak. Guess what? If you're at a peak, know that there will be a valley, there will be a dip coming at some point in time. That's just life. It's cyclical. You're going to run through seasons where this happens. So knowing that I can endure hardiness or hardships as a good soldier of Christ, I can do all things through Christ. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. It's not just about being strong. It's about I can do it when I'm up. I can do it when I'm down. I'm still going to keep my eyes on the prize. I'm still going to stay focused in the highs and the lows of life, whether I have a lot or a little. A base or a bound is what Paul's talking about. So I can do these things and still be able to get through in the mountaintop experiences as well as in the valley. But once again, if I'm in the pit of despair, I can't stay there long. I've got to be able to climb out. I got to be able to figure out what it's like to get out of that. So shifting that, I got to remind myself who God says I am, reaffirming my identity in Christ. What is my identity? Who am I? Who does God say I am? Because the enemy comes in, he's the accuser of the brethren. He's going to come in and tell you what you're not and what you can't and how far you are away from God, how messed up you are. Whose voice are we listening to? Do we have some iron sharpeners, some people around us that's going to help us move into that? So I got to replace those limiting beliefs with affirming beliefs, godly beliefs, things that are going to move the needle towards me being healthy and whole and strong once again, walking in that area going towards fulfillment. And that's it. Hmm. So other thing is seek out coaching, counseling, a community of like-minded individuals, some other folks that are gonna bring together a brotherhood. Man, we need a brotherhood. The reason why we talk about Lionheart, I got my lion in here today, being strong and courageous. But it's the lion. The lion is smart. He's the king of the jungle. He's strong. He's powerful. He's not the strongest. He's not the most powerful. He's not the fastest. He's not the biggest. But he knows that his strength is in his pride. The strength is in his brotherhood. The power of his pride. Jesus could have did it by himself, but he had 12 and more. David could have, no, he couldn't have done it by himself, but he was smart enough to know he had 37 mighty men alongside of him, along with other soldiers. Okay, it's not good for man to be alone. So, who can help you? A coach or someone that's going to be iron sharpener, a brother that's in the faith that can keep you accountable, help push you forward. Okay, so Victoria says, get excited for what God is about to do while you're in the valley. Amen. That is so good. It is. Get excited, like I know he's coming. It's kind of like that old sermon that comes around Easter. Sunday's coming. Yes, death happened, but Sunday's coming. Get excited about what God is going to do, what the potential is, what I'm moving towards, because I'm making a clear vision, which is one of my 7 points, is having a clear vision about where I'm going. I know that change is coming. I know that a better me is coming. I know that those particular things are moving in the right direction. So that's what I need to have, that faith and hope for what's coming. All right. I'm looking for that to happen. So here are the 7 steps that I want to give you guys that help you get out of the pit of despair. 7 steps. Once again, there could be a lot. There could be a lot more. And there may be some things I want you to take these. There may be only 3 that you need to apply right now. But here's the steps that I want to give you. Number 1 is acknowledge the pit. You got to have awareness. You got to have awareness and the knowledge that, okay, I'm here. I'm in this pit. So we don't want to like be delusional and saying, oh, everything's great. Everything's great. That one picture with the dog is sitting there. This is fine. And they got fire all around him. This is fine. This is fine. No, it's not fine. Okay. Everything's on fire. You're in a bad spot if you're in the pit of despair. Okay. And it grows, it festers, it builds if you don't take action to recognize it. But first of all, I got to know that I'm there. I just can't, because what happens is I may want to numb the pain with some addictions. I may want to numb the pain with self-deprecation. I may want to numb the pain with self-harm, moving away from all the self-care things that I normally would be doing right now to take care of myself. Okay, so I need to, first of all, acknowledge that I'm in the pit. Number 2, surrender control. Now that I know what's going on, what do I need to do? I'm not winning right now. I'm not in a winning season right now. I need to surrender the control. It's not like just giving up. It's about putting myself and know that God is in control. I have help. He said he'll make a way of escape. So I'm going to believe that. And I'm going to search and seek for that way of escape. And that could be with, like I said, coaching or a mentor or somebody that's going to be in your life to help you move through those particular things. And as I said earlier, number 3, set a vision. Let's get clear. Like Victoria was saying, get clear about what God is going to do next. Setting a clear vision. Okay, where do I want to go? What's the roadmap? And you may need someone to help you do that. That's why I lay out a roadmap with my clients about what that looks like. Even in the fitness journey, okay? How do you see yourself healthy, strong, fit, lean, whatever that is? What does it look like? What are you doing? How does that person create the identity? I need to make an identity shift towards the person in the vision forward. My future vision of myself. Okay, how does that person eat? How do they show up? How do they talk? Who do they hang out with? Who do they not hang out with? What do they say yes to? Even more importantly, what do they say no to? What levels do you up level your non-negotiables in your life? And that's going to be according to vision. One of my coaches and mentors, Kerry Campbell, would say the decisions are made in the vision. Your vision and your core values, when you have those very clear, when you set those out, it's like I make a decision according to that. My vision is this. Somebody comes with the opportunity for that. That doesn't line up with where I'm supposed to go. So I can make a decision quickly and say no to that because I'm saying yes to my vision. Okay. So That is another one. Number 4, surround yourself with like-minded men. Okay, like I said, a brotherhood. It's not good for man to be alone. We do better together. We do better when we do life together with like-minded folks who are aspiring for more. You don't have to be in the same thing. Like, I'm a doctor, I got to be only with doctors, and I'm a digital marketer. I got to be only with digital marketers. I'm an electrician. I got to be no. Some of that's portion, but mentally, emotionally, there's some things that we want to strive to get around people that are going to pull us up in the same area. We're all moving towards success. We're moving for greatness, personal greatness, being more impactful, being able to grow, growth-minded individuals, abundant-minded individuals. So I need to be around these folks. That's why I go to conferences. I get in a room with other people who are aspiring to be great, and you feel the synergy of the room. We're all trying to grow. We're all working through this. We're all building. We're all growing. And I want to see you win. I want to see you win. I want to see you win. All of us want to see each other win. That's the difference of being in the right rooms. Victoria's on here. We have refuge night on Thursday nights at our community center, mission center here in Marble Falls, and it's like-minded folks who want to escape and be free from addictions. And so, being in that room, everyone is moving in the right direction. We're moving towards a clean life. Not necessarily just about what we're moving away from. We're moving towards a clean, strong, productive life. Achieving greater things. So everyone is in there is believing for that. It's easier to fight those things when you're in a group of people who are like-minded. It's easier to be a Christian on Sunday at church. All right, but guess what? It's easy to be a loser when you hang with a bunch of losers. It's easy to be, guess what? If I hang out in a crack house long enough, that for some reason I'm gonna probably smoke some crack. I don't care how strong and resilient I think I am. That's the wrong environment if I want to live a crack-free life. Crack house is a great place to become a crackhead. It just is. That's just facts. So I can't be so strong in my mighty in my mind and say I could be around anybody and everybody. No, I cannot. So put yourself in areas in like-minded individuals, whether that's in person, whether it's online, having a text community. I have guys that if I'm struggling, I could text. They can do the same with me. Having some individuals that can do that too. Number 5, of course, that I'm going to come with this. Make your fitness, your health, and well-being a priority. Make your fitness, your well-being, your strength, your fitness important. What happens when we get in the pit of despair? We stop with the self-care. Guys, like, take less showers, forget deodorant, might miss brushing their teeth. Believe me, I've had these conversations. I forgot to eat. You ever heard somebody say, I forgot to eat? It's been all day long. I forgot to eat because you're so worried, like you don't even have an appetite because you're so stressed out. Major Coolian, a guy that's been in one of his coaching programs, but I follow. He said this, and it's very potent. He says, you want to commit suicide? Go get a 6-pack. And after that, come tell me if you still want to commit suicide. Very potent, poignant words. But I subscribe to that 100%. It's not about the 6-pack. It's about who you become, the disciplines that arise from you to get a 6-pack. And once again, it's not about the 6-pack. It's about the physicality of training your body. I put my body under submission. I beat my body. I discipline my body to do what it should. So after preaching to others, I won't be disqualified. The disciplines it takes for me to take care of my body, what I say no to, what I show up for with the consistency, those things are going to be detrimental and cross over to every other area of your life. So if you make fitness a foundation, not saying that faith is not the foundation, faith and fitness, you get your body like in shape. There's going to be something that you can't help is going to cross over to other areas of your life, in business, in life, in relationships, the way you show up more confident. I'm more confident when my body's like nice, when my body's right. I've been the lowest when I've been fat and I couldn't work out because of emotional trauma, physical. I mean, I was at the worst. I was more like dark thinking and anxious when my body was out of order. Now, for me, it's even more so because it's part of my identity. It's a part of who I am. So if I feel like a hypocrite because I'm fluffy, that's real. That's a real emotion that I had to deal with. So make your fitness very, very very strong. Um, the first time I heard you, thought I meant Jim said a 6-pack of beer. Yeah, no, not a 6-pack of beer. 6-pack on your body. Go put a 6-pack on your body. I have like a 4.5 or something. I don't know what it is right now, but there's some stuff. There's some stuff and there's some bumps in there. But yeah, but it is. Go get your body in great shape and see what it does for you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. You show up different. You show up with a different confidence. I know what it's like to put on a shirt and like, ooh, can't wear that. My gut showing. Take that one off. Going through 3 or 4 shirts because the ones that are firm fitting don't should not be affirming the lack of fitting that's going on in my body. So I have to understand that and know that there's certain things that I need to pay attention to. But if you get your body right, you do the self-care. I love massages. If I go too long without massages, I'm denying my self-care. It's part of what I need to do. You, for ladies who may be watching this, your nails, your toes, your massage, your facial, whatever it is that lights you up. You know, for me, it's sort of those things. But the self-care, the fitness, all those things are important. You don't want to lose contact with those particular things because they allow you to prosper. They cross over to other areas. Okay. Embrace faith over fear. I know if you're in the pit, it's scary. There's hopelessness, there's chaos, there's confusion. But I need to believe that God, now, if you have not submitted your life unto Christ, if you have not done that, that's the first step. So if you have not submitted your life to Christ to become a Christian, to be a Christ follower, that's the first step when you talk about being in the faith. But also when it comes down to faith, it's also faith in the process, faith in what's possible, faith in yourself, reinstilling faith in yourself that you can actually do the things that you think you right now you may feel like you can't do because of the situation. But the reason why we count wins, I need to look back and say, what are some things that I've done that were pretty awesome? Some hard things that I've already endured and overcome. So I need to give myself a record of counting the wins of the times when I did do well and I have accomplished. I've done hard things. I've faced hard things, hard and high goals that I've set before and I've crushed them. I've conquered them. So now I'm just need to put myself in position to conquer the next. So I'm going to believe by faith and not letting the fears and the trepidation and all the anxieties and depressions and all those things overtake what my faith says. Faith in God, faith in the process, faith in the vision, faith in those particular things, I said faith in the vision. I know I speak fast sometimes when I get excited and it sounds like the vision. Faith in your vision, okay? So I got to choose that. And then number 7 is maintain the daily disciplines. What are the daily disciplines that you need, whether, once again, if it's exercise, what are the daily disciplines? Okay, am I practicing good hygiene? Am I being consistent with something? Am I doing my prayer time? Has that slack? It probably is. If you're in a pit of despair, it typically is. Your prayer time, you're reading the Bible, you're journaling. If you're a journaler, we all should be journaling in some form or fashion. If you have slacked on those particular things, let's pick those consistent things back up. The daily disciplines. Am I getting enough water? Am I eating well? Am I choosing to do things that empower me and empower others around me? Okay, so I need to get those disciplines better so I can get success. I need to win in small things. When we count wins, some days it's like I had 10 sales today, and I led 17 people to Christ, and I had a new PR. Those are some days. Sometimes it's like, you know what? I tied my shoestrings well. I drank enough water, which is good. Big. I wiped my butt well today. Yay me. It doesn't matter. You find victories in something, counting wins in something. And I got a bonus one for you. I know I said 7. I got a bonus one for you. Bonus one is choose joy. I got to decide that I'm going to be joyful today. For me, it's like I can't count on someone else to bring joy to me. I'm the one that God has gifted with some humor and some encouragement and to be an encourager like Barnabas. I'm that guy. So I choose to bring the joy. When I walk in a room, the room changes. Not that I'm arrogant and this and that, but I'm going to change the atmosphere of the room. It's going to be different because I'm bringing the presence of God. I'm bringing the presence of joy. I'm bringing encouragement. I'm bringing enthusiasm to the room as I'm bringing to this video right now. I'm going to be the one. I'm the one. And you have to be the one sometimes to say, I'm going to choose joy no matter what. I'm going to choose joy. Rejoice. Again, I say rejoice. How many times God tells us about the joy of the Lord is your strength? Joy is powerful. It is a weapon. It is a powerful weapon if I choose joy. Even in the midst of being in a pit of despair, I'm choosing joy. Guess what? The more I choose joy, the more I build a momentum of joy. And then I start becoming joyful. And I can feel it in my body. And I can feel it in the atmosphere. And I'm seeing things that are bringing more joy in. I mean, I'm looking for joy. Now I'm becoming this joy monster. I'm bringing all that into my life. So joy is one step, a strong step to give me a good foothold to climb up the next step out of the pit, out of the pit. And it helps when you have a brother that can hold your hand right alongside you. Come on, we're gonna climb together. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's do it. We got it. One more step. Come on, one more. I know you're tired. I'm tired too. But I dare you to take a little bit of pain right now. I dare you to fight through it a little bit. I dare you to dig a little deeper than where you've been right now. I dare you to keep clawing and grasping and praying and moving. And the next thing you know, you're out of the pit and you're on your way back to the next mountain because you set clear vision. You believe in by faith. You're walking by faith and not by sight. I know it looks sometimes insurmountable, but folks have come out of the pit that you're in right now. Somebody has come out of it. They have climbed out. They have used these methods. They have followed God's word. They have prayed. They have, had encouragers along the way to help them move through it. And so I want you to do so. I want you to lean into the help. I want you to lean into these methodologies and things of that. And of course, share this with somebody that you know that could be helpful, that can benefit for it. So it's time for you to make some changes. What does it look like to move out of the pit of despair? It's possible. I'm praying for you. I'm believing for you. I'm speaking life into you right now, whatever you're dealing with, because it is possible to climb out. So that's the part, taking the first step of faith, applying these to your life. I guarantee you, if you put these things in place, you will get out of the pit of despair. So I hope this has been helpful. Love you guys. Once again, do all the YouTube things, comment, like, subscribe, share this with somebody who may benefit from, somebody who may be in the pit, or you yourself. I love to get your feedback, comment, all those good fun things too. So that's what I have for you guys. Let's fight and climb out of the pit of despair. You are worthy. You are worth it. You're worth fighting for. And I'm fighting for you, and I'm believing for you, and I'm praying for you to make it happen. So that's what I got. God bless. Go hard. Peace.